Hey there! Do you know that 1 out of every 5 Indian employees, are depressed? Now, as a business owner and an entrepreneur, why do you need to really be bothered about the statistics? Let me tell you why. Because depression, at the very least of its impact, can reduce your employees' productivity massively. And depression, at the very peak of its impact, can make your employees suicidal. Let me give you some further statistics. 8.21 of every 10 employees that are depressed are suicidal. And this is very shocking. And the numbers have just grown over a period of years. It was just 2.1 out of every 10 employees in 2008. It's not just the employees that are depressed. Business owners and entrepreneurs are depressed too. With the kind of crisis that's going on, the global health crisis. The real bad news is that the statistics that I just gave you is of the year 2016. I shudder to think what the statistics will be now with the kind of social distancing, isolation, lockdown, and economic disaster and the subsequent job losses that's happening all around the world and also in our country. This episode is all about why being an entrepreneur is hard. Handling depression, not just in your employees, but also in yourself and also in your senior leaders, because nobody is depression proof in the current crisis and chaos that we are surrounded with. In this episode, I will also give you 12 warning signs to watch out that will indicate to you that depression is playing a havoc. But before I do that, let me get this disclaimer out of the way. This episode is not a substitute for a medical doctor, a mental health care professional, or a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming. If you have doubts that you are depressed, or your employee is depressed, or you're suicidal, or your employee is suicidal, pick up the phone right now and ask for help. It's not a smart idea to handle depression on your own. Having got that disclaimer out of the way, let's move further. My name is Muralidharan Jairam, and I am your online breakthrough consultant with over 25 years of experience in consulting worldwide in Fortune 100 companies in the United States and multinational companies in Europe and in India. Welcome to the Citrines channel, the ultimate guide for business owners and entrepreneurs. If you want to grow your business exponentially, if you want to learn cool business related stuff, then start right now by hitting the subscribe button and ringing that bell icon so that you're notified whenever we post a cool video. So, without any further ado, here are the 12 warning signs. Number 1, a feeling of despair and hopelessness. When a feeling of despair and hopelessness grips you and doesn't go away, when you see the whole future as black, there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and this goes on for days and weeks and months, then it's a clear indication that you are depressed. And how do you recognize this in others? You will find that the employee who is depressed is talking negatively. There is a hint of hopelessness and despair in every part of his conversation. You need to be alert. Sometimes these employees may withdraw and be silent. And when you ask them something, they may talk negatively. These are all clear signs that the employee may be depressed. Number 2, depression has begun to affect your day-to-day activities. Suddenly you find that you have lost interest in life. You lost interest in your hobbies. your friends, things that you love, things that you enjoy. You don't do them anymore. You lost interest even in sex. All these are clear indications that depression is either setting in or has set in. How do you recognize this in others? When people withdraw, do not connect with their friends, do not pursue their hobbies, they lose interest in their work, in their life, in things they enjoyed before. These are all clear indications that depression has set in. Number 3, you lost your ability to enjoy. This is a very clear-cut indication that you're depressed. Your ability to be joyful and enjoy things, even simple things, has vanished. And that is another clear indication that you could be depressed. Same thing with your employees or co-workers. Suddenly they have lost interest in life. Suddenly nothing seems to be joyful to them anymore. These are all clear indications that they could be depressed. Number 4, your weight has changed. When your weight changes by 5%, either up or down, when you suddenly gain weight or lost weight, then it's a clear indication that you could be depressed. And same thing goes with your employees and co-workers too. A sudden gain in weight or a sudden loss of weight is a clear indication that you could be depressed. Number 5, your sleep. How are you sleeping nowadays? If you find that you are unable to sleep or you're having a very disturbed sleep and you get up in early hours and cannot go back to sleep, then it's a clear indication that depression is playing its havoc. Or just the opposite. Are you oversleeping? That's another indication. So any drastic change in sleeping patterns, either you cannot sleep or you're oversleeping, is a clear indication that depression has set in. And same thing goes with your employees or your co-workers. You need to find out, have a conversation with them and check. Usually they'll come to the office with low energy levels, and that's a cause of concern. Number 6, you're irritable and angry. You find that you're more and more irritable, more and more angry. Even small things bother you. Your ability to tolerate things has dipped to an all-time low. And how do you recognize this in others? You'll find your employees more and more irritable, picking up fights. They are rude, and this goes on and on. It's not that they have suddenly developed a bad attitude. It could very well be that they are depressed. Number 7, low energy levels. You find that you can't lift your finger. You don't have energy even to lift your finger. Or that you find it difficult to just move on with the day. Everything seems to be hard. It's a clear indication that you are depressed. Same thing goes with your employees. If an employee is depressed, then you will find him having low energy levels. And this is a clear-cut case that depression is playing its havoc. Number 8, self-loathing. You find yourself that you're deriding yourself. You're very harsh to yourself. There's a constant negative voice putting you down. And that's making you sad, irritable, or angry. And this goes on and on. And the self-loathing even comes out in your speech when you talk to your friends or your loved ones. You're constantly talking negative things about yourself. This is a clear indication that it could be depression. And in your employees, you'll find the same thing happening. When they talk a lot of negativity about themselves, how bad they are, how poorly prepared they are, of how everything will go wrong. It's not that suddenly they have become negative. It is because depression has clouded their brain, and it's coming out in form of self-loathing. Number 9, inability to focus. You find it more and more difficult to stay focused. Things distract you. This inability to focus usually comes by constant thoughts that are affecting you. So that could be a clear-cut indication that you're depressed. It's not that suddenly you're lost interest in your profession and you need to change your profession. No, it's the depression that's causing this cloud, that's creating an environment inside you, internally, that's preventing you from working effectively. What about your friends? What about your employees and colleagues? Same thing. When they are not able to focus, and when you find that things are getting procrastinated, then it's a clear indication that they could be depressed. They need help. Number 10, unexplained aches and pains. Now, depression can cause pain, actual physical pain, especially back pain. Many of the back pain people experience are connected to emotional issues. Depression is one of the culprits. So if you have an unexplained ache or pain that's going on and on, it could well be because of depression. And same thing goes with your employees and co-workers. Number 11, you're frequently dropping the ball and you're not delivering on your promises. Well, this could be because of depression, because depression has started affecting your day-to-day activities, and you're becoming more and more dysfunctional. And as you become more and more dysfunctional, you find that all the things that you need to get done to run your business is falling apart, and you're not delivering on your promises. It is because of depression. It has taken charge of your life and your business, and it's leading to disaster. Same thing for your employees and co-workers. When they miss deadlines, when they're constantly procrastinating and their inability to deliver is coming again and again in front of you, it's a clear indication that they are depressed. Number 12, suicidal thoughts. Do you have suicidal thoughts? Even passing ones? Then it's a clear indication that you need help immediately, right now. Because the more depressed you get, the more severe the depression becomes. Suicidal thoughts begin to emerge automatically. It starts off with passing thoughts. You begin to think your life is not worth it, and death becomes more desirable. And, please listen carefully, and if you find yourself beginning to plan the way you want to exit from this world, even Googling out methods, it's time to pick up the phone right now and call your doctor. Call a medical doctor or a mental health care professional. Same thing with your employees. With your employees, it may come out in their conversations. They may say that their life is useless, they're worthless, no point living anymore. They may even openly and explicitly talk about killing themselves or harming themselves. It's not to be taken lightly, especially in this current scenario. Please pick up the phone and call a medical doctor or a mental health care professional or a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming. Well, these are the 12 warning signs that may indicate to you that you could be depressed or your employee could be depressed. So what can you do about depression? I have only one advice to you. Pick up the phone and call your medical doctor or a mental health care professional or a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming. That's right. And I cannot emphasize this more. Please do not try to handle depression on your own. It's not a smart idea, especially if you have suicidal thoughts. Pick up the phone right now and call a medical doctor or a mental health care professional. Now, what you should not do is, number one, as I said, handle depression on your own. Number two, hope it will go away. Number three, think that things will get better. And number four, postpone reaching out for help. Okay, now what about your employees? What can you do if you find your employee or a senior leader is showing signs of depression? Let me give you some tips. Number one, be present for them. Be there for them. Assure them that they are not alone. Number two, be compassionate. Number three, do not be judgmental. Number four, gently nudge them to therapy. Number five, openly talk about their thoughts. Check whether they have plans to harm themselves. Openly talk about suicide. Number six, ask them periodically whether they are okay. There are many people who have contemplated suicide and almost done it, and later on told the mental health care professionals that if only somebody had asked them even this question, that are they okay, they would not have put their plan to action. So it's very important to be compassionate to your employees and be present for them, because we are living in a total crisis mode. They need your help. You are their leader and you need to be there for them. I'm sure you like this video. Please share this very important video with all your friends. Hit the like button and do subscribe, because if you want to grow your business exponentially, if you want to know and learn business related stuff, start right now by hitting the subscribe button and ringing that bell icon so that you're notified whenever we post a cool video. So, until next time,